Hey there, guys, it's Vampire Preacher. That's right, we thought we weren't going to be doing another unboxing because, well, the new waves are kind of hard to find and kind of impossible to find, and they're not supposed to be out until, like, February. But here we are nonetheless. I suppose that means we've got a wave of Marvel Legends figures to be unboxing. So, in case you haven't known, I'm Vampire Preacher. You've seen all of the... Over there, you've seen all of the socials when they pop up. There we go. Those are the guys. So, you're probably watching this on Twitch right now, otherwise I'm very curious as to how you're seeing it. Or you could be watching the re-up to YouTube. That's cool stuff too. Either way, we're glad that you're here. So, today we are going to be unboxing the complete Super Skrull wave of Marvel Legends action figures. So, that means that we've got a little bit of work ahead of us. Because we got some neat stuff coming. We've got the Fantastic Four, of course. It's a Super Skrull wave. We've gotten the Fantastic Four previously. I've shown you guys them with the Walgreens exclusive ones. We've got two other figures in this. One is a updated take on a figure we've gotten previously, and another is also an updated take on a figure that we've gotten previously, but I'm very, very excited about this one. This one, perfecto. So, enough of me talking on and on. Let's get into it. So, I figure we're gonna do it like this. So I'm gonna do two of the four, one of the other people that aren't the Fantastic Four, and go back and forth like that. That way we get kind of a Fantastic Four sandwich of sorts. So we'll start off with Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic of the Fantastic Four. You're sick and tired of hearing me talk, so let's get into it. Of course, we've got our display here on the front, our window pane, where we can see Reed and the accessories he comes with. We can see our artistic interpretation of Reed Richards, and, of course, on the back here, we've got a picture of the figure itself, along with all 6 figures, which we will be unboxing today, and the Build-A-Figure. As we've been doing in recent streams, we are not going to be putting the Build-A-Figure together off-screen. We're going to be doing it right here in front of y'all. We'll do it live.
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
For the background, we've got this cool Fantastic Four logo. Reed comes with one of our Super Skrull's legs, the right leg to be exact, which we'll put up here. His accessories are, if I'm being honest with you guys, a little weak compared to last time. If you all saw the previous unboxing of Marvel Legends for the Walgreens exclusive Fantastic Four, his arms were removable. You could pop them out at the shoulders here and put on these long extended arms, versus now where he's got some long fingers.
Those khaki spider fingers aren't going anywhere, Andrew Hands.
I mean, if she weren't so into Namor the Submariner, I'm pretty sure Sue would like these long fingers, if you know what I'm saying.
No, fingerprints.
I don't think so.
But that's about all that we've got. I mean, these, yeah, they're long fingers. Oh boy. I don't think it really shows off Reed's powers to the best of its ability. Plus, he doesn't have any open hand. He just has 2 fists and the long fingers. With the previous version, we had the Ultimate Nullifier device. And yeah, this has nothing like that. We can't even put the Ultimate Nullifier in his hands. We get a slightly older looking Reed here. If you can see, he's got the, not only the gray in the sides of his hair, but also a little bit of gray in the beard. He also has a beard. We're used to seeing some gray on the sides. Not quite this much, but we're used to seeing a little bit of gray. We're really not used to seeing the gray in the beard. Enough of me talking about it. Let's get into our articulation here. we've got some good downward head movement, and yeah, his upward head movement is pretty good too. For his shoulder articulation, well, looks like you can pop out these arms and put in those old ones, or at least that's what just happened here. Rip me. If they were a different color scheme, maybe it'd be a little bit cooler to do that, but unfortunately the old ones are in the original colors of their costumes, so yeah, that's not gonna happen. I can't pop out the arms and put in the old arms, because they'll look completely different. He does have the bicep swivels for our double jointed elbows. If we get it there, can we? It shouldn't be surprising. It is Reed Richards, the man made of living rubber. But, ladies and gentlemen, we've got it. We've got that good flex. First one out of the gate, we've already got it. I'll take it. For his hand articulation, we've got the standard up and down hand articulation. Nothing spectacular. No sword cuts, not that you'd need it. It's Reed Richards. Let's take a look at what these extendy fingers look like. Oh boy, he's got big hands. You know what they say about guys with big hands? Big gloves. Bazinga. Yeah, that's it. That's showing off his extendo stretcho powers. That's it. He's got the salad finger hands going. It's the best I could say. For his ab crunch, we're going a decent way forward, and that's all you're going backward? Ugh, that's pitiful, Reed. That's pitiful. We do have the waist cut. For our hip articulation, we're going a decent degree out. It's not fantastic, but it's, ironically enough, it's not fantastic, but it's something. We've, of course, got the thigh cuts here. The double jointed knees, which are, again, giving us a great flex backward. Look at that. It's actually really great range of motion there. All right, color me impressed. We, of course, have the rocker ankles, which can go a disturbing degree in, an incredibly painful degree out. I think this is the furthest I've ever seen the rocker ankles go. A pretty good degree forward, and yeah, you can go all the way on point back. All in all, with this figure, I'll be honest with you guys. If you have the previous Reed Richards, the Walgreens exclusive, get this leg online. It's not worth it. If you want to give your old Reed these new extended fingers so that you've got different ways of displaying him, that's cool. The head sculpt's different. Beyond that, it'd be a pass for me. It would be an absolute pass if it weren't for the fact that he's got the Super Skrull leg. Yeah, he's just an out-and-out disappointment. I'm going to give him a 4. A 4 out of 10 for Reed Richards, the man of living rubber, because you did nothing to show that, Hasbro. His flexibility in his ankles, great. In his knees, fantastic. In his shoulder, elbows, pretty good. In the rest of him, his torso most especially, God no. That's just terrible. It's a 4. Get the piece online. Next up, since we're going with the first family of Marvel, let's go with Mrs. Richards. The whole reason why we got those extended fingers, if you know what I'm saying. If you know what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure you know exactly what I'm saying here. So, once again, we've got... Well, let's just get into it. So, looking at it, we've got our window pane front once again, where you can see Susan Storm, Susan Richards, however you want to go with it. We've got Sue Storm here. Our artistic representation of her. Photo of the figure. Not even using the cool effect we got. And like we said before, I forgot about our blurb. I'm forgetting everything today. Not only did I forget our blurb about Reed Richards, but I very nearly forgot about our old friend, the T-Square. Which, we're coming in right at about 6 1/4 inches for Reed Richards. I didn't forget. You guys thought I forgot. I didn't forget. I wouldn't forget something like that for you guys. Additionally, his fingers are coming in for this extended hand at about 1.5 inches. So, yeah, he's stretching, but he's not showing off his stretching powers as much as he did in the previous release. So, yeah. Inside of here, for the background, once again, we just have that cool-looking Fantastic Four logo there. We've got the main body of our Super Skrull here, to be assembled later. We've got, finally, an effect piece for the Invisible Woman. Finally, Hasbro! About time! We've been going to third-party people to get these same figures for a while, or same accessories for a while now, and now you finally said, you know, let's just make it so that we give you that effect piece. Well, it's about time. As a note to anyone that's looking to display, Sue has a back peg here, so we'll make it so that you can position her in a flying position, which is definitely a Susan Storm thing to do. You guys will have to pardon me for laughing a little bit. As I'm sitting here, we've got a certain special guest, my cat Nico, who's decided she wants to be on stream too. Alright, so let's get into what we've got here. We'll put that aside for later because that's going to be the part I'm most excited about. So, for our neck articulation, Susan can actually look all the way down. Alright. And that's as far back as she's looking. She's not looking up with great hope. It's a little for that, but with all of this hair here, what are we expecting? For our shoulder articulation, alright, we're getting a T-pose. I'll take it. No bicep articulation. Let's just get this out of the way now. As for we've had this talk before. Your ladies need double jointed elbows, bicep articulation, waist cuts. Anything you give to a male figure, give to the female ones. It'll make them sell better. I promise. Because of our very lame elbows here, we've only got 90, a little bit better than 90 degrees. That sucks. Our hand articulation is the standard in and out. No sword cuts, because no need for them. Again, it's Sue Storm. She's not going to be using a sword. She's going to be using cool stuff like this. We've got the ab swivel, which can go this far left and right. That's as far as she's going forward. Did you blink and miss it? Here, let's reset and go back. That was it. And that's her backward articulate. You know what? Actually, she can go further backward than her husband. But Namor knows that's not the only time Sue bends over backwards, let me tell you. Enough of making fun of the first family of Marvel. For our hip articulation, I'd have really expected those hips to go wider. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
Stop it!
We do have the thigh cuts here. We've got the double jointed knees, which can't go back as far as her husband's. Again, no comment. There's a little bit of flash there inside of the knee joint, and it makes it so it just can't go quite all the way back, kind of limiting her articulation. For our rocker ankles, we can go a greatly disturbing degree in, an incredibly disturbing degree out. That's just painful all around. She can go really far forward with her feet, which is kind of incredible. And yeah, she can go all the way back on point. So, that's cool. They put her in the stupid heels, which is just going to make posing her a real pain in the ass. But, it is what it is. Now, for the cool part that I've been waiting for, I hope you guys have been too. How does this... So her fingers slide into the part up here, and it gets kind of supported by her hand to give her our invisible shield. Our force field. It's the first time we've gotten a Sue Storm force field outside of the movie force fields, which actually, I'm not going to lie, I use in my displays. Both the movie lift and the movie force fields from the Jessica Alba figures, just because it's the first time we got anything beyond this figure here. All in all, I'm going to give Sue here, she's going to get a 5. She's going to get one better than Reed did, and it's mainly because of this effect piece. Of course, she's also got the Super Skrull body, which is cool, but the effect piece actually... This effect piece, because it's not proprietary, it just slips onto the fingers. This can be used by the previous one, the previous release of Sue Storm from the Walgreens exclusive wave. Which wasn't even a wave, it was just a bunch of individual releases. You guys get what I mean. Because of that, any figure with this same hand, which they overuse these hands, I'll be dead honest with you guys, can use this same effect piece. That's cool. I like effect pieces that I can reuse. That's why I didn't even hesitate with the new $30 Black Widow exclusive to the movie, where she's in the all white outfit. Yeah, it's $30. But oh my god, the effect pieces are so cool. All the explosion pieces underneath, the zapper bits for the Widow bites. Yeah, give me all of that. Come on, Hasbro, give it to me. And the two exclusives that are the Walmart and Target exclusives, I pre-ordered both those too. Why? Simple. Because the Walmart exclusive one has three different sets of the Widow bites. 2 of them are shooting out the darts that she uses in the comics / gunfire that she uses at one point. 2 of them have smoke trails coming up, which is awesome. It's like she just fired from them. That's cool. And 2 are just the plain ones. Plus, she's got a jetpack with 2 effect pieces for her to look like she's flying off in the jetpack. That's cool. The upcoming Target one, it's got a rifle, 2 pistols, and effect pieces that go into the barrels of those to look like she's firing the pistol, firing the rifle, and like there's smoke trails coming out of them. That's awesome. The figures themselves look kind of... and I'm more excited for the Walmart one because it's based off the 90s one where she's in the gray suit with the little half jacket thing, which was a big thing in the 90s for some reason or another. I'm excited for that just because of the extra effect pieces. That rifle that she's got, that machine gun, that's going to the Punisher. So that he's got something that's firing off. It's going to look cool. I'm excited for that. Just like I'm excited with this effect piece here. Any effect pieces I can use for other figures, I'm 100% on board. Bring them to me, Hasbro. I will pay you. Obviously, I'm paying you an extra $70 for these 3 Black Widow figures for the effect pieces. But they're so cool, I'm not going to say no. We've got it. I'm not forgetting about you, T-Square loyalists out there. I'm not going to forget. I know you guys love the T-Square. She's coming in at about 6¼ inches herself. She's right about the same height as Reed. Actually, let's get them side to side here. She might even be a hair taller. Otherwise, they're the exact same height. Interesting choice, but whatever. All in all, yeah, I'm going to give her a 5. Is she great? No. She has all of the same problems that all of the female figures that Hasbro does have. She's got all of the lack of articulation of all of those figures. So, yeah, she's going to get a few points off for that. Is she the classic one that we got from Walgreens? No, and I'm going to be comparing the two because those came out just like a year ago. The upload just went to the channel maybe a month or so ago for that unboxing. And she came with Herbie, which we, of course, don't get with this set because, I don't know, they hate Herbie. So, I said I was going to be doing a sandwich style with our Fantastic Four First Family, which means our next one is not going to be a member of the First Family of the Fantastic Four. It's going to be someone different. In this case, it's going to be Jennifer Walters' Hulk. Now, I know what you're thinking. Isn't that She-Hulk? No. But also, yes. It was a period of time where Jennifer Walters was taking on the Hulk persona. She wasn't She-Hulk, and she was just as savage as her cousin Bruce. She was mean, she was vicious, she was huge. She's a pretty big figure here. Enough of me talking about it, let's get into what we've got here. So, we've of course got our window pane front, our artistic rendering on the side, our blurb about her trying to control her anger and keep the powerful Hulk at bay. Yeah, Jennifer Walters has been known to be She-Hulk for ages, but now she can't control the rage and has become bigger because, I don't know, I think Bruce was dead at the time or something or another. What have you. We also have all the figures here. For the background behind this one, it is not a Fantastic Four thing. Just a very cool intergalactic space scene there. I kind of like the looks of that. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's kind of cool. Inside of here, we've got 2 different arms of the same arm for our Super Skrull. So, the gimmick with this Build-A-Figure isn't that he's some kind of absolutely huge Build-A-Figure. It's that he is the Super Skrull. The Super Skrull has the ability to take on all of the abilities of the Fantastic Four. He also has the ability to not move this joint at all. It's super stiff, and I'm not going to go breaking it. So, we'll be using the powered up joint instead, because, yeah, I'm not going busting that. Getting a new Build-A-Figure piece is a lot harder than even getting the figure itself. But the gimmick with this Build-A-Figure is you can have the regular arm or you can have the powered up arm. In this case, he's using the powers of both Mr. Fantastic and Susan Storm, the Invisible Woman. We'll put these to the side here. Inside of the packaging, of course, we've got one very tall, very strong girl. Oh, I'd say it's a big, beefy boy, but this is no big, beefy boy. This is a tall, strong girl. I mean, Whew. Yeah. Those abs will crush you. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This version of She-Hulk, or Hulk, however you want to refer to her, this version of her looks like she wants Snoo Snoo, and let me tell you, she's gonna get Snoo Snoo, whether you like it or not.
Death! By Snoo Snoo! Yeah!
And they made her very Amazonian in this. I've got no complaints about it, but she is definitely more substantial. Just taking a look at her versus our previous figure just reviewed, Susan Storm. Yeah, she's over a head taller. She's going to be closer to 7 inches. This is going to be a tall girl. For our neck articulation, she can look down really well. She can only look up so well. Again, she's got a mane of hair back here keeping her from looking up much better than that. For our shoulder articulation, hey, actually, better than a T-pose. I'll take it. I will take better than a T-pose, and Hasbro, well, I want to thank you for giving Hulk, She-Hulk, Jennifer Walters Hulk, bicep articulation. I must ask, why can't you do it with every female figure? We do have bicep articulation here on our Jennifer Walters Hulk. We do not have double jointed elbows. We've only got single joint, but these go at least to a 45-degree angle. It's not perfect, but I'll take it. It's better than what we got with Sue. For our wrist articulation, it's the standard in and out wrist articulation. We're not looking at sword cuts here. We do have two kind of gripping hands. They kind of have that open look that we get for Hulk and for Ben Grimm, the Thing, who's probably going to be later on in this wave. After all, it is a Fantastic Four wave. So yeah, we've got the big punchy hands here. Let's actually take a look at what one of those punchy hands looks like. Not, of course, the fists, but the wind-up hand, shall we say. You're about to get punched from here to next week. Look, where you can kind of pop this back. Yeah, have it so that she looks like she's grabbing towards you to beat into you. So, that's kind of awesome. We have a waist swivel for her as well. Why? Why not an ab crunch? And I see that we've got all the abs here. She's been doing plenty of crunches, because those abs show it. I don't know if you guys can see real well. There we go, yeah. Those abs are showing it. But for the ab swivel, she can go an alright degree to the sides. That's as far forward as she's going, and that's actually a decent degree back. It's better than Reed. Okay. Alright. That's a thing. Ladies and gentlemen, the shirt on this figure is soft goods. It's very flexible. Hasbro, look me in the eye and tell me which one of your designers has a thing for Muscle Girl. Just let me know. Just let me know. It's obvious. You gave your She-Hulk figure a cast-off top. Just be honest with yourselves. One of y'all got a thing for Muscle Girls, and it's fine. We do not have a waist articulation on her. No waist cut here. For our thigh articulation, or our hip articulation rather, that's actually the best we've seen today. I could make comments here, but I'm going to keep those to myself. We've got, of course, the standard hip cuts for our double jointed knees. Yeah, they're going, all the way back. There's a little bit of flash inside of here that's keeping them from going further, but honestly, that's pretty much as far as it would go in the first place, just because she's got a little bit too much thigh and calf muscle there to go any further back. For the feet, we've got, for our rocker ankles, a painful degree in and a disturbing degree. Oh, God, that's a really disturbing degree out. Even, oh, you should see a doctor about that. She can go a great degree forward and can go all the way on point backward. Now, one thing is kind of interesting to me. With She-Hulk here, she's got the barefoot mold that we've seen a couple times, but she also has pegs in the bottom of her feet. If you guys were here last week, you'd have seen Shang-Chi, which, still, best one of that entire wave right here. He's got bare feet, but no pegs. That's just such a weird design choice. She's got pegs in the bottom of her feet, he doesn't. And yes, I keep him right around here because, seriously, this is actually my favorite one from last week. This is my favorite character that we got. I love this figure so much, he's displayed right by my stream setup. I wasn't specifically done with this in mind. I just have him here because I love that figure so much. That he's over here just in that intimidating pose, and I love it. I love that figure. I said it last week, I'll say it again. If you find yourself a Shang-Chi figure, buy it. Buy it now. With She-Hulk here, Jennifer Walters Hulk, however you want to call her, what kind of a rating do I give her? I didn't forget, I swear. I didn't forget. You guys, crazy thinking I'd forget.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
Yeah, again, she's coming in right at about 7 inches tall. She is a big, strong girl. She is a large, strong woman. Honestly, I like the figure. I think it did a great job of capturing Jennifer Walters as being, just hulked out and mad. And powerfully. She's gonna wreck you, man. You're gonna get into a fight with her, and you're gonna get wrecked. And it's awesome. I kind of like the gamma blood effects here with the cut marks across. The soft goods top, again, Hasbro, just come clean. Who's got the thing for muscle girls?
Me.
The pupilless eyes just kind of make her more intimidating. Like, she looks mad. This is the first She-Hulk figure we've gotten in a single pack since the individual Hulk line at the very start of Hasbro's regime, the Fing Fang Foom wave, that was a Target exclusive, and that figure's, it's over a decade old. We did get a more recent She-Hulk figure since in the A-Force pack. That was a Toys R Us exclusive multi-pack, and pretty much the only figures people wanted from it were, actually, I know a lot of people only wanted Lady Loki or Monica Rambeau or Elsa Bloodstone. I loved all 6 figures in it. I think it was a great set. I think it was a great update to the She-Hulk that I've already got, which was the first She-Hulk from Wave 2. of Marvel Legends by Hasbro. I believe she was the Blob Wave. Yeah, she was in the Blob Wave. Wave 2, which, that's a long time ago here. That's many, many moons ago. All in all, as a figure, I'm going to say she's a solid 6. She's a solid 6. They could have done a couple things extra. They could have given her a waist cut, could have given her double jointed elbows. Butterfly shoulders would have been awesome to see. An ab crunch would have been great, instead of putting all your money to cast off clothing. Come on now. But in general, I think it's a great update. I really like what they did with the figure. I'm going to say she's a solid 6. She's still probably not even going to be my figure of the stream, even with having the highest rating so far. I can speak, I swear. So, we're back to the first family, and let's go from one strong character to another. Ladies and gentlemen, Benjamin Grimm, aka The Thing, is going to be our next figure unboxed today. So, enough of me talking, let's get into it. Now, of course, we've got our window pane front here, showing off everything that's inside of here. We've got our artistic rendering on the side, our picture of the figure on the back, our, once again, a little blurb all about Ben Grimm, and our wave of figures on the back. Inside of here, the backing is once again that Cosmic Fantastic Four backing that we saw with the other members of the first family, Reed and Sue. He comes with not one, but 2 separate heads for the Super Skrull wave. Well, obviously it's for the wave, but it's for the Build-to-Figure. One is just a very serious-looking head. The other's this smiling head. Honestly, of the two, I'm going to use this one in my display. If I get... I wish that they released the Super Skrull as a standard figure, because then I would army build. I'd have the actual Super Skrull up front, and just a bunch of standard Skrulls behind him. As is, though, I've got the Skrulls from the Captain Marvel movie, and they're probably going to... The Talos... They're probably going to serve as just backgrounds for this character. Getting out, Mr. Grimm. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't think I was going to be saying it in this unboxing today, but Ben Grimm is a big, beefy boy. Look at him. He's huge. He's massive side to side. He's fairly tall up and down. He's just a hair, and I mean just a hair shorter than She-Hulk. He's a big guy. Now, granted, so was the Walgreens exclusive one, which we've unboxed previously. Again, check out that unboxing on the YouTube channel. Thing with that one was, well, it didn't come with the extra heads. It did come with 2 extra hands and a different head for Ben. I'm not sure I'm going to tell you guys I'm loving this mug on him. It's not my favorite. Although this now makes 3 Thing figures that I have. The Walgreens one, this one, and the one from the original Marvel Legends by ToyBiz. From way back in the day. Actually, I've got a couple of the Michael Chiklis ones too, now that I think about it. But I don't really count those. Well, at least I know the head can pop off, so I can put on the other head if I want to. For our neck articulation, that's as far back as he's going. Any further back and the head pops right off. Looking down, that's it. You can only be so downtrodden when that's as far down as you can look. For our shoulder articulation, we're getting a little bit better than a T-pose. I'll take it. He does not have bicep swivels. I thought the previous one might have. I might be wrong, but no bicep swivels on Mr. Grimm here. Just like the previous one, yeah, he's only got the 90-degree elbows, which that kind of stinks. That's all we're getting out of those. For our hand articulation, it's our standard in and out, although it just kind of rotates in one place, kind of awkwardly. Because if you see, the disc for it's actually there in the center. So there's definitely a singular way to line that up. Otherwise, it just looks odd. Yeah, if you line it up like this, it looks like an actual fist. If you bring it back, there's just some rocky texture here that doesn't look like it should be there. Because honestly, it shouldn't. It should just... I expect you to display it just like this, in this exact pose, no matter what. I also have a little bit of flash back here, just some extra plastic that didn't get taken off during manufacturing, which... Alright. We have an ab swivel on him as well. It's almost forgivable because he's such a big dude, but it's still not forgivable. If we got Beast, who had both an ab swivel and an ab crunch, and double jointed, like, everything, Ben deserves it too. Ben deserves all of that. Same love that Hank McCoy got. Yeah, we're only going a little bit side to side here. That's as far forward as we're going with this ab swivel, and that's as far back. Granted, again, still better than Reed going backwards, but not great. But he has a waist cut. He has an ab swivel and a waist cut. Hasbro, your engineering is questionable. For our hip articulation, actually the best we've seen today. It's as good or better than Miss Walter's. Definitely better than anyone else in the first family so far. We've got our thigh cuts, of course. For our double jointed knees, which are just not wanting to go back at all on me. He can go back a pretty decent degree. It's not perfect, but he's got a lot of rocky textures to him here. Honestly, you can see that there's a little bit in the calf and the thigh that are rubbing there. Otherwise, I'd say it's the flash in the knee, but no, there's a little bit of rub in between the calf and thigh there, making it so it can't go any further back. For the rocker ankles, it's a decent degree out and alright degree in. It's not quite the painful degree. It's not that really painful degree that we just got with Jennifer Walters, but it's a decent degree. It's an alright degree forward, and that's as far backward as he's going. He's not going quite on point. He's just going a little bit back and forward. He's okay. I'm going to be honest with you guys. The previous version of the thing that we got as the Walgreens exclusive was one of my top figures of that year. It was fantastic. This one, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the head sculpt. I don't like that he doesn't have extra hands. I've got extra hands with the other one, so maybe I can just do some swaps there. Maybe even do a swap with the head sculpt. The yellow paint just kind of drizzled, haphazardly brushed on the arms, the chest, the head, and the feet. I don't know. It's supposed to make it look more dynamic and more comic book-like. Honestly, I'm not getting that from it. The original version, he was just all orange, and he looked great. This one looks a little bit closer to that cartoon they had back in the late 90s, early aughts. I'm not a big fan. He's a cool figure. He's heavy. Like, he's a hefty guy. He is a big, beefy boy. But I'm not as in love with him as I was with his first release. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm not. He's actually coming in, right at about 7 inches tall. So just like Jennifer, He is a pretty big boy. Out and out, if I had to give him a rating, honestly, I'm just not feeling him the way I was last time. I'm going to give him another 6. He's alright. He's cool enough. If you didn't get the previous version of him, then he's okay. But I'm not all about this one. He's not doing it for me. Not like the last time. Sorry. For our next figure, hopefully we'll get better things out of him. It is the Human Torch. So, let's see what we're getting out of old Johnny Storm here. Of course, we've got our window pane front, our artistic rendering of him on the side, our figure of the toy on the back, along with our little blurb all about him, the line of figures, and our build figure all there on the back. On the inside, our backing's once again that Fantastic Four logo on the cosmic background, which it's a cool look. The build-to-figure pieces we get with him are the other 2 arms for the Super Skrull. One normal and one... We'll go with imitating the powers. Because it's got a thing hand to it and a piece here that just kind of clicks on that sets it on fire. So that now you've got a flaming thing arm so that he can have all of the powers of the Fan 4 just in his 2 hands. Because, yeah, this is the only thing that differentiates regular and Super Skrull, are these 2 hands. Beyond that, you've got just a basic Skrull figure, which, let me tell you, Hasbro, please, please, release just a basic Skrull figure. Please. I'd very much enjoy it. But these 2 pieces make it into a Super Skrull. And once again, that will be our last reviewed thing today, is our Super Skrull Build-A-Figure. Now, what are we getting with Johnny? Well, we're getting a couple of flame effect pieces here. A set of flaming hands. And a depowered Johnny Storm. Now, not gonna lie to you guys, I'm really happy about that. I know what you're thinking. Vamp, why are you happy about that? It's a Human Torch that's not on fire. What gives? Well, I'll be honest with you guys. We've had enough Human Torches that are on fire from the second ever wave of Marvel Legends that had a Human Torch figure who was, of course, completely on fire, to the most recent Walgreens release, which was also on fire. We haven't gotten a whole lot of them not on fire. Prior to this, there was a half on fire, half not version that was part of the Ronin the Accuser wave, which was impossible to find, like completely impossible to find. The only figure I found of it was actually the half-powered Johnny Storm, which I used for a number of years because I have a thing about seeing just heroes' faces in depowered versions. Other than that, we had the Chris Evans ones from the original Fantastic Four movies, which they're not Marvel Legends. They don't have the articulation of them. They're so-so. But now we've got an actual Marvel Legend and his unmasked head. I'm not going to lie to you guys, I'm probably going to take this head off of here, put it on the Reed Richards body from last time that we got these guys from Walgreens, and have a just depowered team there, because I've been substituting this head with the Scarlet Spider head, the Scarlet Spider unmasked head from the retro wave of, the second retro wave of Marvel Legends figures, just so I could have a depowered Johnny. enough about what I'm planning on doing. Let's get into our articulation. We've got a decent degree of downward head articulation, and actually a pretty good degree of upward head articulation. I can see him flying like this. I can pose him flying like this. That'll work. We do have butterfly shoulders. Thank you, Hasbro. On our Johnny. I believe he's based on the 2099 body, because I don't see a back peg here. And of course, we've got the butterfly shoulders for our shoulder articulation. We've got better than a T-pose. All right. We've got the bicep swivels. Johnny. Why? Is that good flex we're looking for? No, Reed's giving us the best flex of today. Come on. We also have these standard in and out wrist cuts. Not the sword cuts, but again, I don't know if any of the figures today, with the exception of possibly the last one, is going to have a wrist sword cut, because none of them would use anything like that. It'd be standard cuts for all of them. That just makes sense. For our waist articulation, specifically our ab crunch, we've got him going a decent degree forward, and actually an alright degree back. It's the furthest we've seen today. It's not the best we've ever seen, but it's the best we've seen today. We do have the waist cut here for our hip articulation. It's okay. It's not quite as good as Ben's or as Jennifer's, but it's close. We've, of course, got the thigh cuts here for the double-jointed knees. There we go. All right, we've got a little bit of a rub here between the calf and the thigh, keeping it from going any further back. But honestly, that's not bad. I'll take that. That's some decent articulation. We, for the first time today, have a boot cut, which perplexes me, although this one isn't moving real well. I don't want to go breaking that articulation point on him. That would kind of suck. But yeah, we've got a boot cut on this figure. It boggles the mind why they don't use the same kind of molds for legs. And granted, I'm sure you don't want Reed's legs to look nearly as muscular as Johnny's legs. I get that, but everybody can get a boot cut. That's easy enough. I know it uses more plastic, but come on, guys. It's a boot cut. For our rocker ankles, decent degree in, painful degree. Oh, God, a painful degree out. Alright degree forward, and he should be able to, yep, go on point back. And before I get into the scaling, how he measures up, let's see just what he looks like with his flaming hands. The best I'm going to say here is, So, I get them wanting to just swap out the hands to make him powered up. And we've got these little effect pieces here. You just kind of wrap around the forearms and go, yep, that's him using his power. It's him getting all flamed up and all. But honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I feel like that's lazy. Like, yeah, I'm kind of getting the idea that he goes on fire. So you guys remember the Dormammu wave version of Iron Fist, where he had not just hands that you could replace, but forearms. You had wrapped bandages up to here and wrapped hands, but you could pop that entire forearm off and replace it with glowing forearms, 2 fists. This is a figure that would have really benefited from that. Instead, we got a pair of hands that, ooh, now I'm powered on, and some flame effect pieces. I'm going to use the flame effect pieces, probably not on this version of Johnny. Those flame hands, those are literal remolds from the version that we got from Walgreens some months, actually I think over a year ago now. I'll be honest with you, kind of lame. I like the new head. I do like the articulation on this figure. It's the best we've seen today. Not that that's saying much, but it's the best we've seen today. If I'm going to give him a rating, because of the new head, because of the cool articulation on him, he's probably going to be a 6. You know what? I'm sorry. He didn't deserve a 6 from me. He's a 5. He's a 5. He's getting exactly what he deserves there. He's a 5. It's kind of a lazy remold. I'm sorry. It just, yeah. It's not it for me. For our height, he's coming in, yeah, 6 1/4. Same height as Reed, same height as Sue. Pretty sure that that's not supposed to be the case, but it is what it is. Yeah, he's a 5. He's a 5. I'm going to use the head on the other body. But, yeah. Honestly, they could have done a couple things differently here to make me really love this figure. But they didn't. They didn't, and it just makes me... It makes me long for those other figures. Thankfully, we've still got them. But it's just kind of... It's kind of weak. I'll be honest with you guys. It's kind of weak. Well, that takes care of the first family, so of course that takes care of absolutely everyone for the day. We've got no one else coming. We just have the Build-A-Figure. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's right. We have the figure that you all came here to see today. We took care of the first family. We took care of Jennifer Walters. Now, it is time for Doom's reign to begin.
I gotta sing the Doom song now. Doom, 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 doom.
So, let's get into them. For Victor Von Doom, we of course have our window pane front, our artistic rendering on the side, our picture of the figure on the back, lineup of the figures in the wave, with this one being the last one for us to review today, and our little blurb all about Victor Von Doom. Now for the backing on this, he also has the Fantastic Four's 4. So the only one that didn't have the 4 on the back was Jennifer Walters. I find that a little bit interesting. As well, Victor is best thought of as a villain for the Fan 4. I wouldn't have given him their logo, as he has been a villain to plenty of others in the past. That final piece is our last piece for our Super Skrull Build-A-Figure. We also have 2 closed fists here for Victor. An alternate head, which doesn't seem like an alternate at first glance, but we'll give you guys a better look at that in a minute to show you what the real difference is. And of course, our Von Doom himself. Which the easiest way to get him out of here is going to be to pop off that head so that the cape goes back through the back. Well, we've got the head off. We might as well get into why we've got a second head, even though they look very similar. they're not. So, even if you look underneath, you can tell there's a difference. This is a singular piece of just molded plastic for a mask. I mean, it looks like a robot head. If you look at that, it's a very angry robot head. Versus this one, which looks a little bit more human-like, to the point where there's even technically a human head underneath there. Not sure how much it's sculpted underneath, but there is a human head underneath. This one's more robotic, where this one has a lot more rivets to it. It's actually the difference between the original Doom, the classic Doctor Doom, and the more modern Doctor Doom. You can tell the difference in the hoods. This one's a little bit more tightened together. This one's a little bit more flowing. This one's face is a little bit more harsh and robotic. This one's face is a little bit more, we'll go with handmade. So it's kind of neat. They're giving us two different versions of Doom in one figure. They're giving us both his classic look and his original look, and that's also a unique thing. If you guys didn't notice, the neck wasn't quite on straight, so the whole neck itself moves on this figure. That's kind of weird, but I kind of love it. I'm probably going to be using that as part of my display with him. Or it's just not on properly, because it also just went back as I'm trying to do, like, that's... I'm not sure how this is on here, but you all see this, right? It's weird. But if we pop on the original Doom head with no cape, there you go. You've got your classic Doctor Doom. Your original, where he wasn't the Emperor with the cape and looking all menacing. You've got just a more classic Doctor Doom. He's got a jetpack. Look at this. He's got little ports for a jetpack. And they actually have holes in the bottom of them. So you can put thrusters on. That's great! Oh my god, I love this. I didn't know about the jetpack. How could you know about the jetpack thrusters? They're literally covered underneath the cape. But here they are. That's so cool. But yeah, there you go. With the swap of a head and taking off the cape, you've got a very classic Doctor Doom. By swapping that back, popping the cape back on, completely covering up those awesome thrusters that we've got. With our more Imperial cape, there's your more modern Doom. And now you don't even really see the thrusters unless you're really looking at it from the side, and you already know they're there. Oh, that's so cool. So you can really put him with either kind of display. If you want to have him in the more, we'll call it Duck here, cartoony version that he was back in the 60s, here you go. Here's your Doom for that. Kind of want to see what the face looks like under here, but I also don't want to go breaking this head, because I kind of love it. Or your more modern Doom here. I see where the budget for this wave went. That was a good choice, Hasbro. The others, a lot of them are lazy remolds, and I was only half satisfied with this. This is where you put your budget, and it shows, and I like it. For our articulation, Doom can look down on those beneath him decently well. And he can look up to a certain degree. The cape and the hood are really getting in the way. I think he'd look up better with the standard, or classic rather, head than with the modern head. I'm not sure which version of him I'm going to display, as I do have another Doom in my collection. It is the original Marvel Legends Doom, again from Series 2, which was more than half filled with just the same kind of figures we're seeing here. It had Ben Grimm, it had Johnny Storm, and it had Victor Von Doom. This was the second wave ever of Marvel Legends. So I'm not sure which version of Doom I'm going to have with this, if it's going to be the classic or the modern, but either way, I'm good. I'm happy. We've already seen that weird neck articulation we've got, which is definitely different. For our shoulder articulation, better than a T-pose. We also have the bicep cuts on here. Before I go into... Actually, we'll go over that last. Never mind. We'll go over that last. For our double-jointed elbows... Victor, you were so close. If you didn't have a little bit of flash there, you'd have given us that good flex. Unfortunately, only ones we got it out of... Actually, only one we got it out of was Reed Richards. Richards! I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. So, we've got the standard back and forth swivel cut in and out for our hand here, and for both of our fists. However, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a sword cut. That's right. His right hand out of the package is a sword cut. Which is appropriate because here, by his custom holster with the Von Doom logo on it, that you can pop open, because for once, they didn't decide to have just a holster for aesthetic purposes. They had it for actual purposes. And they actually stored his Luger in it. In packaging. Giving him an actual accurate Luger. Not a needle gun, not some sci-fi thing. I think they got around all of that by putting it in the holster and making it so that people couldn't see. But yep, there you go, an actual Luger. So, your Doom can menacingly point his Luger the way he should. And I love it so. I do. I love it so. For his waist articulation here. Now, we don't have a standard ab swivel or ab crunch on him. It's actually here, hidden by the belt underneath. We've got our ab swivel, and look at how far to the side he goes because of it. Like, he's got a great deal of side-to-side movement. He can go forward about as well as anyone with the ab crunch, and he can go back, actually the best of today. The best, I think either the best or second best today ab articulation is from Victor Von Doom. Food for thought there. His skirt thing here is soft goods, and you all molded a cod piece. Out of silver plastic, you molded a cod piece. We'll get into all of this in just a moment. For our hip articulation, it's up there with the best of the day. We don't have the standard die cuts because they're hidden inside of the leg of armor here. We've got our double jointed knees, which go back a decent degree. They're not going all the way back. They're not quite reeds, but they go back a decent degree. For our ankle articulation, yeah, that's as far in and as far out as we're going. We've got too much armor down here, preventing it from going any further. We can go... Can we go? I'm not going to go breaking that ankle. We can go a decent degree forward. And can go back almost all the way on point. If you all are seeing what I'm seeing, there's a boot cut in the bottom of the armor. There's a boot cut in the bottom of the armor so that you can swivel that all the way around. Now, before I get into my ratings and all of that with this figure, I do want to take a second for some appreciation here. Hasbro, I know that I am very negative of you guys sometimes with some questionable articulation choices. Today, I'm giving you praise. Your other figures, they kind of sucked. I'm not gonna lie, they kind of sucked. The second best one to me was She-Hulk. Beyond that, honestly, if the pieces would have been cheaper for the Super Skrull than getting the figures, I'd have just gotten the pieces. Doom is an exception to that rule. You guys blew it out of the park. If you guys can see, the chainmail is detailed underneath. The straps for the armor are detailed. There are rivets all around on all pieces. Like on every side of his armor, there are rivets showing how it's put together. There are bumps along the hands, all of the hands, to show that they are pieces of armor put together. With our legs here, they are, again, rivets. They have the straps. This is straight up a suit of medieval armor with a custom holster, a custom belt, a custom tunic. I think even the cape is custom and brand new. I know that the torso is, because that's the first time we've seen this jetpack and the peg here and back. This figure is stunning. I love everything you did with this figure, Hasbro. I love it. I cannot tell you enough. This is how you should do figures. This is how you make your fans happy. This is how you stay in business. You make this. Some of this other garbage that you gave us today, stop. I know you're doing it for cost savings, but just stop.
Stop it or I'll bury you alive in a box!
This figure, this is perfect. This is the ultimate Doom. I'm saying it. I'm saying it. This is the ultimate Doom figure. This right here. It's the figure of the wave. I'm giving it to him hands down. He's the figure of the wave. He won. Doom has won. I love everything they did here. I love the classic look. I love the modern look. I love everything they did. Before I give him his official rating, he's coming in at about 6.5 inches tall. He's a little bit taller than all of the Fan 4 minus Ben Grimm, and he's a little bit shorter than Jennifer Walters. But he's the perfect height. He is the figure to get. And since I was mentioning it before, there's our neck articulation down without the cape and without the old hood. And yep, he can look up much better with this older hood and older head that he comes with. So the classic Doom, so that he can be using the jetpack that's built in here, can, yeah, be looking off as he does so. This figure is incredible. If you can only find one figure this wave, if you see someone, they open up the entire box, and you go, I want to get one, but I only have enough money for one, go with Doom. Your secondary one, go with She-Hulk. Go with Hulk, go with Jennifer Walters. Beyond that, if you can find any of the others in their original Walgreens releases for less than the price of retail, or for the price of these current figures, just get those. The only thing you really want is Sue's energy shield. Beyond that, that's it. This is the figure to get. He is fantastic. The only things I'm going to say negative. You've got these little areas on the bottom of the feet, Hasbro. You could have made it so that we could have put in thrusters here as well at the front of the foot. Plus thrusters at the back. I mean, clearly we could put thrusters at the back. Having it at the front would have been kind of cool. You've done it with Iron Man figures before. It would have been a neat thing to do. Having the thrusters here at the back would have also been... I mean, we don't have thrusters here, but we can grab those from an Iron Man figure and put them on the back. Because, yeah, that's perfect. He's a 9. He's a 9. He's a 9. He's a 9. He could have had a little bit here and there done with him, but honestly, not that much. I cannot think of that much to do to improve. He's a 9.5. He's a 9.5. He's a 9.5, honestly. I'd almost give him a perfect 10. There's a couple of things, I mean, just nitpicky. Like, different torso articulation to add in ab crunch along with the ab swivel. But it's a good ab swivel. It's a really good one. Giving him... He doesn't even need butterfly shoulders. Doom doesn't need them. Doom needs not your butterfly shoulders. Making it so we could have had the thrusters at the front of the feet instead of the back, but just because you already have the circles there. Honestly, that's it. That's it. That's honestly got it. It is so well done. Now comes a question for the gamer in me. We're going to try doing something to see if we can. Because I must know if he can. Ah, he's just shy. He's just shy. He is just shy. Curses. Curse you, Richards. That's the only reason why I would have said he could have benefited from butterfly shoulders is, while doing this pose, I want him to be able to cross his arms to have his boots... I'm not going to go breaking that. His boots up and together while looking down for that classic pose from Marvel vs. Capcom. Where, yes, he comes down, boots downward, arms crossed. His arms just can't quite cross. Honestly, it's a nitpick. It's a nitpick that keeps this figure from being absolute perfection. He is darn good, though. He is a darn good figure. Plus, I mean, even though he can't do that, he can do this. Which is just an awesome way to display Dr. Doom. Him with his hands together, looking as evil as possible. Thinking about how he's going to defeat that dastardly Richards. Like, honestly, that's it for me. That's it. Hand in hand. Oh, it's such a cool figure. Again, he's a 9.5. If you see him in the wild, get him. Don't go paying scalper prices for him. I'm not going to tell anybody to ever pay scalper prices for anything. But it is a darn good figure. If you see this one out there while you're out and about, get him. Last I heard, he is still available on HasbroPulks.com. It's where I got him. He is that good of a figure. He is really that good. I loved every part of him. Only thing that could have helped is some butterfly shoulders, just to make it so that he could put his arms across like this, so he can do that downward stomp from Marvel vs. Capcom. But that takes care of all of our figures from the standard wave, which means we're down to it, ladies and gentlemen. We've got him. We've got all the pieces to him. What do you say we assemble our Build-A-Figure from today's wave? Our Super Skrull. So we've got our legs that came with Doom and with... Sorry, leg wasn't coming in. With Doom and with Richards, respectively. There we go. That one was a lot harder than it's ever been before. We're going to do the smiling head. We're going to examine him with the smiling head. Just because, I'll be honest, I like the smiling head that came with Ben. Well, both heads came with Ben, but I like the smiling head. The body, of course, coming with Sue. Our flaming thing arm coming with Johnny. And our invisible stretching arm coming with She-Hulk. And, minus our extra pieces that we've got, our secondary sets of arms and our secondary head, this is our Build-A-Figure. So, let's get into what we've got here. So, we've got our Super Skrull Build-A-Figure, who, I'm not going to lie to you guys, is super cool. Again, Hasbro, if you want to give us this figure without the extra pieces here, just the standard arms, I'm down for that. I'm totally down for that. Because this, yeah, I want an army of these guys. It's cool. For our neck articulation, he's looking down on the Fantastic Four actually really well. And looking up, yeah, a great degree. He can look up actually really well. For our shoulder articulation. Now, of course, this is with the powered up shoulders, not the other ones, mostly because I couldn't get this shoulder loose. I'm going to need to do the hairdryer trick or some boiling water with that. This one's coming along just fine, but the other one, not so much. I'm going to have to, again, do the boiling water trick with that. But with these, we're getting a T-pose, which I'll take. He does have the bicep swivel, the double jointed elbow, which, let's see if we can get that big old hand out of the way. But for the second time today, we are getting, ladies and gentlemen, that good flex. We only got out of 2 today. Reed Richards and the Super Skrull, but we got that good flex. I'll take it. I'll take it, I'll take it, I'll take it. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. Now, that's only on this arm who we've gotten that good flex. For his standard arms, if we were looking at a depowered version of him, it's a good enough flex. It's not that good flex, but it's a good enough flex. As for his on-fire Ben Grimm arm, it's a good enough flex. I'm not going to call it that good flex, but it's a good enough flex. One arm gets us that good flex. The other 3, not so much. We also have the standard in and out wrist articulation. on all of the hands seen here. The Thing hand doesn't go as far in as it should. Of course, the flame effect is keeping it from going any further back. The invisible stretched arm is, only going so far as well because it's a big hand. And his standard ones are just a standard in and out. There's no kind of hindrances there. For our ab articulation, our ab crunch, he's going as the furthest forward we've seen today. And the furthest back. Our best ab articulation today came from our Build-A-Figure. There you go. We do have a waist cut on him. Of course, we've got our hip articulation. That's, again, the best of the day. We've, of course, got the thigh cuts. That's where we put the legs on. For our double-jointed knees. Ew. My man, you might want to be hitting the physical therapy. It's not quite good enough after a knee replacement surgery to get you out. Ouch. We do have a set of boot cuts on our Super Skrull. For our rocker ankles, we're going a decent degree in and incredibly painful degree out. Pretty far forward and can go all the way on point back. I'm actually really impressed. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm impressed with this Build-A-Figure. He's cool. He's cool. He's fun. It's neat being able to pop on the alternate arm and having him be kind of depowered. If we can pop off the other one, even if we can't get the arm to go down. Are we going to? Yes. It took a little bit of doing and a little bit of alternative force coming from...
Ouch!
There we go. Jeez, this is the stiffest joint I've had in a while. And just to see what he looks like when not smiling, because we might as well. There you go. If you can find secondary body on him, just the torso and legs from Doom, who, that'll be an easy one to get. Yeah, it's going to be a super easy leg to find. I'll turn second leg from Reed Richards. Yeah, that'll be easy. That will actually be easy. A torso from the Invisible Woman. Easy enough. And then you can have two versions, a powered up and a non-powered up. Or powered up and non-powered up version. Again, Hasbro, if you want to release this as a single figure, I'm not going to say no. I'll take a set of two. He's coming in right at about just over 6.5 inches. So he's about the same height as Dr. Doom. He's cool. I'm not going to lie to you guys. He's cool. He's a fun Build-A-Figure, which is kind of the point of it all, right? We're talking about action figures. If it's not fun, why are we getting it? They're action figures. They're fun. If it's not going to be fun, I've got no reason to get them. But now I am thinking about how I'm going to be displaying these guys for my photo. I kind of want to do a photo with him and Doom. Do a Marvel vs. Capcom 3v3 pose, because I think that'd be a lot of fun. Actually, that'd be a lot of fun. That might be what we're going to do for this. That might be what we're going to do. Because I just had that thought, and that'd be a kind of cool pose. He's a fun figure. again, if they release this as a single pack, I'd buy multiples. I'd buy, at the very least, another 2, maybe 4. Just to have kind of an army of them. 1 Super Skrull, 4 regular Skrulls, I'd be down. You don't even need to have the Super Skrull pieces. You can keep these, Hasbro, and just release this figure without a build-to-figure piece. Please, without a build-to-figure piece. Like, release 2 of these together as a 2-pack. I'm down. The same way NECA did with their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where they've got 2 packs of foot soldiers. Cool. They've got a Bebop and Rocksteady 2-pack. Cool. And they've got all of the Turtles coming with 1 foot soldier apiece. There's also 2 packs of just the 2 Turtles. 1 set of 2 of them, another set of the other 2. You get the point. You get the point. If you released a 2-pack of these without the powered-up pieces, just of Skrulls themselves, maybe give us the space guns for them, I'm down. I'm down. Let's do it. This is a really fun build-to-figure. It's the most unique one we've gotten in a little bit. Last week's build-to-figure of the Demo Goblin was kind of weak, I'll be honest with you guys. This is definitely an improvement. I know that we're looking at, in 2020, we've got the Strong Guy build-to-figure that we know about. And we know about the Crimson Dynamo wave coming up. We know about the Strong Guy wave coming up. We don't know who any other build-to-figures are yet for the year. We're probably going to find them out at Toy Fair fairly soon. We know that we've got the Age of Apocalypse wave. We don't know who the build-to-figure is for that yet. And there's going to be a ton of news coming at Toy Fair. I know it, you know it. It's going to make my wallet scream out in pain. But this is unique. The Crimson Dynamo one, it's a little unique. It's got some reused parts to it, so it'll be cool, but it's not going to be perfect. The Strong Guy one will be unique. And I've been waiting for a Strong Guy figure for a long time. Since the very original Strong Guy ToyBiz 5-inch figure, which didn't quite capture his scale just right. New one, as long as they make him a big dude, I'll be happy. For the build-to-figure here, he's an 8. He's an 8. He's fun. He's fun. He's dynamic. You can pose him in a bunch of different ways. I like him. I like him a lot. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that does it for today. So, if you missed out on any of the stream, we unpacked the entirety of the Fantastic Four Super Skrull wave of action figures. We had quite the variety going. We had some great figures, Doom. We had some not great figures, the Fantastic Four. Honestly, the Fan 4 kind of, for their own wave, they kind of blew. This is all of what we've seen today. Again, TLDR synopsis, awesome build-to-figure, definitely get Doom. She-Hulk is really, really cool and fun. The effect piece from Sue is great. Ben is, nah, just pass. Honestly, pass. Get the Walgreens one if you can. Johnny, cool head. Rest of it sucks. Reed, pass. Get the Walgreens one. If you can still find any of the Fantastic Four themselves at Walgreens, I know a couple of mine locally have the original Sue Storms. I've even got a couple of Richards around me and a couple of Johnnies around me. No Bens, sorry. If you can get the original ones from Walgreens on these guys, do. They're just better figures overall. They've got some neat things here. Again, Unmasked Johnny head's cool. Sue's shield is cool. Beyond that, a lot of the 4 is a pass. The Super Skrull, though, get him. The Doom, definitely grab. And, well, there are some questionable decisions with She-Hulk here. Namely, again, Hasbro, just come clean. Who's got the thing for Muscle Girl? Just let us know. She's still a great figure. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. This has been a ton of fun. This is the last Marvel Legends wave that we have for a while, though. So we won't have a Marvel Legends unboxing next week. We might have another unboxing, because I just got, yesterday, the last figure I needed for completing a wave of DC figures. That's right. Don't come at me. We're gonna do a DC unboxing next week. It's gonna be a little bit different because I'm not really used to DC's articulation, and I'll be honest, I started off with just wanting one figure from the wave because it was a cool version of Batman that I kind of want to cosplay eventually. And then the figure for my editor/wife to cosplay, so I could get ideas for it. And then, well, I happened to find one of the figures at Ross for like $5. Okay, well, I can't say no to that. Well, now I'm only one figure away from having the complete wave and the build-to-figure. So, you know, one thing led to another. So yes, next week we will be unboxing the Lex Luthor wave of DC figures. It's hard for me to even say those words, but yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. Have a great day. Remember, keep it nerdy. We'll see you next time.